Welcome back to Par for the Course. I'm here with my brother, full disclosure. I got to do an interview and just go through his golf history. So just bring something different to the channel. I hope y'all enjoy it. Marcus, tell the team and tell the audience how you got into the game of golf.
Yeah, it was probably 2012, and I was still in undergrad, and so I had some time on my hands, and you and our Uncle Al had, kind of opened my eyes to golf and had caught the bug. So I decided to join. I guess it was a bit of jealousy, I don't know, but I had some time, and I really just kickstarted it from there, and it was just an addiction that I couldn't drop.
Yeah, I don't know if it was jealousy, but because I definitely know I wasn't playing very well at that time. So we both started playing around 2012. I guess I started playing earlier on in the year. Um, you know, we both grew up playing traditional sports, basketball, football, track, um, baseball. So what do you regret? What do you think would have been different had you started playing golf earlier in life?
I think academically, I think a lot of things would have been different for me. I think honestly, I probably would have been at a different school. I think I would have been a little bit more well off. I just don't see myself struggling in school if I had already, kickstarted with golf. I think that that's probably my single most regret is not getting into the game of golf sooner. I feel like it would have had me, set up a little bit more ready to go and better off for my future. But it happens, and I'm not mad at it now. And I'm just so happy to be involved in the game of golf and get my foot in the door now.
Awesome. Do you think you would have focused more on your studies, had something that would have been motivating for you to kind of stick around and just focus on while you were in school? Is that kind of where you were going with that?
Absolutely. I felt like it would have been more of like a thing, especially if I was playing golf at the level that I was right now. It'd be an easy way for me to, obtain a scholarship, and that in itself is a stress reliever.
Yeah.
Being able to go to school stress free, knowing that school was paid for, and have really anything to worry about, but to take care of my golf game and take care of my schoolwork. I think that would have, set me up a little bit easier going forward in my adult life. But like I said, I'm not mad at how it transpired. Everything happens for a reason.
Yeah, no regrets. So currently, where are you at in terms of, in location? What course do you work at, and what position are you currently in at that course?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm stationed in Houston right now at Wildcat Golf Club. It's a 36-hole facility. It's all public. So, we got the bar and the grill. We got the practice. So you can get some bunker work in, plenty of putting greens, and, of course, a full range where you can hit off mats or natural grass depending on the day. I work in the pro shop. I, check people in and take care of rounds and things like that. But I also still am dabbling in lessons right now. I'll kind of put it on the back burner because I kind of want to be more official and, actually be accepted into the PGA of America program as an apprentice and, go about that step. But for now, I'm loving it. I'm full time at Wildcat, and, it's one of the best things that I ever did for my golf game and for my career. Absolutely.
Okay, so it sounds like an awesome place to be. When you said you were giving lessons, was it a certain demographic, kids, adults, mixed, and kind of how did that come about while you were there?
Yeah, it was more so just a mix of everybody. It's really more just based on skill level. I've taught kids and I've taught adults and I've taught teens as well. It really just depends on what you're trying to get out of the game. There's always beginners that need work, and I take that challenge on just the same as I would as an advanced or a skilled golfer trying to, take the next level into competitive golf, whether it be amateur golf or, things like that. One of my, best friends, Michael, of course, he is a +2 or a +4 or something insane like that.
Okay.
He's one of my best friends that I take a look at his swing all the time. Anytime we can get out on the course or hit the range, those are some of my primary students. I love it.
Yeah. So prior to joining Wildcat, what experience did you have in the golf space?
Yeah, I actually started at Golf Galaxy, so I was in golf retail as it was, but I was on the floor in sales. I was behind the cashier doing transactions, of course, but I was also a certified fitter, so I fit anything from Titleist, Ping, Mizuno, Callaway, TaylorMade, it, all the power brands. Of course, you had to be fit to know what they were doing and what they were trying to get out of their club. So that's pretty much what got me started in teaching and looking at swings and looking at the science and technology behind clubs and things like that. And it really just helped me push forward. And I took a break from it, from golf altogether, and I really started working at the airport. And it gave me a chance to really work on my game and really define what I liked about it and what I needed to work on it. And then fortunately for me, the pandemic hit. So I ended up, I felt like the airport wasn't really the safest thing for me at the time. So I dove back, and I was a cart guy at Wildcat to start. And ever since then, I've worked my way up until I could be full-time at the pro shop.
That's awesome. In terms of when you were working at Golf Galaxy, what exposure to those tools and getting certified as a fitter, what insight into your own game did you learn during that time, and how has that helped you today when you're teaching, or down the line when you're teaching? How did that experience help you, or how's that going to impact you?
Yeah, I felt like, getting certified to be a fitter and taking looks at more swings, I felt like it really solidified and simplified things for me. Actually, I felt like, when you're looking at the video of people and when you're looking at the numbers behind it, on their G4, quad that they had at the time at Golf Galaxy, now they have TrackMan and that. So everything's way more specific. But, the most important thing is for the individual golfer to know what they're doing in impact. So there's a lot of ways to, the phrase skin a cat. And that's what it is when it comes to golf. There are so many homemade swings. So really for me, I like to specialize in, just honing what a golfer does well and making it better. There's no reason for me to feel the need or, want to go into a deep dive and fix somebody's swing completely unless it's necessary. If they're doing what they need to do in the impact position and they're, achieving optimal numbers and hitting it out of the middle of the face, which is really important in the game of golf, then there's no reason for me to, go trying to overhaul someone's swing. And I felt like once I got to Golf Galaxy and started fitting that, kind of solidified that for me.
So you mentioned, becoming official and going down the pathway to becoming an official coach. What does that process look like?
Yeah, so the first thing that I need to do is pass my player ability test, which is the first step to get into the PGA of America program. And of course, that's really just shooting 2 rounds of 78 or under, aka 6 over on a par 72, something like that. And once I've done that, then that way I can go on about, getting certified and taking my classes and, really getting started in my class A and, moving up from there and getting more exposure to teaching around the states and country. And
Cool. So outside of just hitting a certain score, are there any other components to the player ability test?
No, actually, it is one of the most simple things, the simple ways to get in. It's to me, I feel like it's just really, again, just playing golf. And of course, the rounds are in the same day. I feel like, of course, mentally and then physically, you're probably going to get tired. So, keeping the game tight and, training for that, I guess that would be something, to train for. But other than that, the PAT is, probably one of the easiest things to do. And it's only $100 to get in. So I feel like that's something I can accomplish and something I can do to get me going.
I imagine it's like a weed out test for a lot of people that aren't able to hit that score and kind of achieve that part of it. So in terms of the classroom part, once you get past that point, is there like a predicted amount of time that takes, or is that kind of at your own pace?
Yeah, it's actually at your own pace. It's really just kind of once you've gotten past that first step, it's really just a matter of when you can accomplish all your, things that you need to do to move on to your next class and everything like that. So really it's so self-paced that sometimes you can kind of get lost in what you're
Mm.
doing in your day-to-day and not, recognize that you need to keep going forward in your PGA. So like one of my friends that actually is already assistant pro at a private club, he just moved from Wildcat. He was one of the first people that got me interested in the program. He was telling me that, it took him a little bit longer than he would have expected, only because he did get tied down in the day-to-day instead of looking at the long shots of everything and making sure that he had all his, things ready to do for the next step on that.
Okay. In terms of clearly some people are just going to get lost in the dust on the playability part and hitting that score. What other obstacles do you foresee kind of stepping in your way of achieving that goal, if any?
I feel like not really too many aspects of it are going to be that much of a obstacle nowadays, but because I feel like with exposure to the game now for more and more ethnicities and races and everything like that, I feel like, there's a lot more accessible ways to get into the game. I felt like at one point it was very exclusionary. I mean, it was definitely elitist involved, but, you break barriers and, you make the best out of it. And I have, and, you upgrade when you can. And I don't feel like anything can hold me back at this point.
That's awesome to hear. I know the PGA has tried to make some strides towards making the game more diverse, making it more look like when you walk around in your local community. So that's awesome to hear that you don't think there's anything that is going to stand in your way in terms of kind of those invisible barriers or just obstacles. So cool. From a support standpoint, do you feel like you need anything from people around you that to get you to that kind of in end of the line?
That's a good question. I feel like as a golfer, you can always use definitely more exposure to different courses, and so connects and networking and that aspect, I definitely could always use. And of course, having a sponsor and finding a way to travel the world at little expense or somebody being able to take care of it in good conscience. But I feel like club wise or technology wise, I feel like once you can get on with a club manufacturer, that's all really the help you need in the beginning, because when you have good technology and good products behind you, it makes the game a lot easier.